Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear viewers, today I am going to start a series of video lectures on carbohydrate chemistry. These lectures will cover carbohydrate chemistry from basic to advanced levels. I hope these videos will be useful to build basic concepts in this field, and the chemistry lovers, especially those who are going to study organic chemistry, they will find this knowledge useful for them. So let's start the introduction of carbohydrates. Yes, carbohydrates are biomolecules. So before introducing the term carbohydrates, we must understand what are biomolecules. Biomolecules, these are the substances that are produced by cells and living organisms. So here we get a point that any substances that are prepared by the living organisms, they could be classified as biomolecules. In regard to organic chemistry, four major families of biomolecules are carbohydrates, lipids, nucleic acids, and proteins. Now, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates is a broad class of polyhydroxy aldehydes and ketones that are commonly known as sugars. So basically, the study of polyhydroxylated aldehydes and ketones is known as carbohydrates. Previously, carbohydrates were defined as the hydrates of carbon, but these terms are now no more in use with the incorporation of advanced term, that is polyhydroxylated aldehydes and ketones. There are some important points which we must remember while studying carbohydrates. First point is that carbohydrates are synthesized by green plants during the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis provides glucose and oxygen, and finally, plants store these glucose productions in the form of cellulose and starch. The next point is that carbohydrates provide animals with a source of readily available energy. So, carbohydrates are prepared by the process of photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? In this process, carbon dioxide and water combine with each other in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, which is present in green leaves. And the resultant products are glucose and oxygen. And finally, this glucose is converted into cellulose or starch through the process of biosynthesis. So the basic origin of carbohydrates are plants. How would we classify the carbohydrates? Carbohydrates could be classified into simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. This is a simple classification. Simple carbohydrates, they cannot be converted into smaller sugars by enzymatic hydrolysis. It means that these carbohydrates belong to one molecule only. For example, it is a glucose. It cannot be hydrolyzed by the process of enzymatic hydrolysis or acid hydrolysis because it is a single molecule here. Similarly, fructose. It is also a single molecule, and this family of carbohydrates, that is simple carbohydrates, they are also called monosaccharides. So the term monosaccharides is frequently used and it is applied to represent simple carbohydrates. On the other hand, when simple carbohydrates or monosaccharides combine with each other through a glycosidic bond, or in other words by acetal bond, then complex carbohydrates are formed. These complex carbohydrates, they undergo enzyme catalyzed hydrolysis and they are converted or break down into constituent monosaccharides. The interesting thing here is, which is required to be remembered, is that when more than one monosaccharide units combine with each other through glycosidic linkage or through acetal bonds, then complex carbohydrates are formed, and these carbohydrates could be hydrolyzed by using enzyme catalyzed hydrolysis into their constituent units. For example, here the example of sucrose, which is a disaccharide. This disaccharide unit or sucrose is formed by the combination of glucose with fructose, and both these rings are joined together through a glycosidic linkage. This linkage is known as glycosidic linkage or acetal linkage. Why? Why it is called acetal? Because this carbon, it is directly linked to two oxygen atoms of alkoxy groups. Here, this is OR group, and on this end it is also OR group, meaning two alkoxy type linkage are present with the same carbon, and such type of compounds are known as acetals. So we may also say that glucose and fructose, they are linked by acetal bonds, or we may say it as well that they are linked by glycosidic linkage. Both terms are fine. Here it is an example of cellulose. Cellulose is a polysaccharide. You could see here that glucose molecules, they are linked with each other through beta glycosidic linkage to form long chains or long chain polymers which contain nearly 3000 glucose molecules linked with each other. The resulting polymer is known as cellulose, and this cellulose consists of around 3000 monomers, 3000 glucose molecules. Now, the classification of monosaccharides. Monosaccharides are also classified as aldoses and ketoses. The term aldoses, it represents that it is for a monosaccharide which contains an aldehydic linkage or aldehydic functionality, formyl functionality, and it is a monosaccharide. So it is known as aldose. The suffix "ose", it represents sugars, aldehydic functionality, and ose for sugar. The resulting term aldose, meaning it is a sugar which bears aldehydic group, aldehydic functionality. Similarly, the term ketose, it is a sugar which bears a ketonic functionality, such as fructose. You could see here ketonic linkage, ketonic functionality, and the molecule is a sugar, so it is also known as ketose. Fructose belongs to the category ketose, and glucose belongs to the category aldose. Similarly, ribose, and pseudoheptulose. Now, let's explain these terms. Aldohexose, ketohexose. What are these? Aldohexose. Glucose is an aldohexose. It means that glucose bears aldehydic functionality. Hexose means it is a sugar which has 6 carbon atoms in the chain. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So glucose is an aldohexose, meaning it contains 6 carbon atoms in the chain and bears aldehydic functionality. Fructose. It is a ketohexose, meaning it is a sugar which bears ketonic functionality, and hexose means it has 6 carbon atoms in the chain. Count here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Ribose. It is an aldopentose. And similarly, pseudoheptulose is a ketoheptose. The other brilliant classification which is frequently used nowadays of carbohydrates is to categorize them into 4 distinct families. These are monosaccharides, disaccharides, oligosaccharides, and fourth one is polysaccharides. First, monosaccharides bears only one sugar molecule. For example, glucose, fructose, galactose. Disaccharides contain a combination of two sugar molecules such as sucrose, lactose, maltose. Oligosaccharides, they contain 2 to 10 sugar molecules. Raffinose, styrose, they are the examples. Polysaccharides, they contain 10 or more sugar molecules linked with each other to form a long chain. The examples are starch, glycogen, and cellulose. Now, let's see the structures of these carbohydrates. Monosaccharides. Here, this is the structure of glucose and fructose, galactose. You could see here the interesting feature in all these monosaccharides is that they are only different in the configuration of these side functionalities like hydroxyl groups and hydrogen atoms. So the difference is only in the configuration of hydroxyl groups and hydrogen atoms across the carbon chain. In other words, we may classify them as diastereomers. What are diastereomers? You should have known that enantiomers are the isomers of an optically active compound which are mirror image of each other. And diastereomers, they bear same molecular formula, but diastereomers are the chiral compounds which are not mirror image of each other. For example, glucose and fructose may have, or in other words, glucose and fructose have same molecular formula as that of lactose, but all the three are not mirror image to each other. So all these three are not enantiomers, they are diastereomers. Here, there are some examples of disaccharides. First is the example of sucrose, in which glucose ring is linked to fructose ring by alpha 1,2 linkage. Here glucose is linking from alpha site, fructose is linking from beta site, meaning the coupling hydroxyl group is present in glucose as alpha configuration, while in fructose that is of beta configuration. So resulting in the formation of disaccharides, that is sucrose. This is carbon 1 of glucose. This is carbon 2 of fructose. Carbon 1, carbon 2. So it is 1,2 linkage. So this representation of the name alpha D glucopyranosyl, meaning alpha hydroxyl group is combining from D glucose with 1,2 linkage of beta D fructofuranose. Now, what are the terms pyranose and furanose? Just at the time, you could understand that the cyclic structure of glucose resembles it resembles cyclic ring of pyran. That is why it is known as pyranose. While cyclic structure of fructose resembles furan, that is why it is known as furanose. The next details of these cyclic structures and their names will be given in the topic cyclic structures of monosaccharides. Next disaccharide is lactose, which is a coupling of galactose with glucose. Next one is maltose, in which alpha glucose is linked with another alpha glucose molecule. So these are the structures of disaccharides. Now let's come towards oligosaccharides. This is the structure of raffinose, as it is indicated by the structure that it is a trisaccharide. First cyclic structure represents alpha galactose. The second one is alpha glucose, and the third structure is beta fructose. So these three ring systems combine with each other to form a trisaccharide raffinose. Next is stracose. It is a tetrasaccharide. First cyclic ring is galactose, other one is also galactose, the next one is glucose, and the final one is fructose. If you could see here that it is alpha galactose because the hydroxyl group, combining hydroxyl group is present on the axial bond. Same is with the other molecule, it is also alpha galactose molecule. The next one is alpha glucose, and the final one is beta fructose. Now, this is the structure of polysaccharide cellulose. You could see here that beta D glucose. This is the structure of beta D glucose. So beta D glucose units, they are combining by 1,4 linkage, 1,4 glycosidic linkage with each other to form a polymer chain of around 3000 glucose molecules. This compound or this polymer is known as cellulose. So dear students, dear organic chemistry lovers, today we have studied basic introduction of carbohydrates. Let us sum up this lecture. First of all, we must understand the definition of carbohydrates, that is polyhydroxylated aldehydes and ketones. The next one is categorization, and carbohydrates are categorized into four different categories. One is monosaccharide, they contain only one sugar molecule. The other category is disaccharide, which contains two sugar molecules linked with each other. Next category is oligosaccharides, that contains 2 to 10 monosaccharides linked with each other. And the final category is polysaccharides, which contain more than 10 monosaccharide units linked with each other to form a long chain. Thank you very much. We will meet in the next video. Allah Hafiz.